Author's note. This video is my review of Batman Gotham Knight, based on Batman by Bob Kane and Bill Finger. Directed by Shojiro Nishimi, Futoshi Higashide, Hiroshi Morioka, Toshiyuki Kuboka, John Signam, and Yoshiaki Kawajiri. Published by Warner Bros. Animation, DC Comics, Studio 4C, Production IG, B-Train Productions, and Madhouse. Starring the English voice cast of Kevin Conroy, Jim Miskamin, Crystal Scales, Alana Ubach, Corey Podnos, Scott Minville, George Newbern, Hidden Walsh, Jason Marsden, Anna Ortiz, Rob Paulson, Gary Dodan, Pat Musek, Andrea Romano, Will Friedle, Kevin Michael Richardson, Brian George, Paraminder Nagra, David McCollum, and Corey Burton through many voices, including Dr. Jonathan Crane, aka The Scarecrow. Rated PG-13. Special thanks goes to Drac Keagan VA for her voice of Starlight, Glimmer, and Cozy Glow. This review is dedicated to the memory of Kevin Conroy, Batman.
I'm willing to put my life on the line to do what I have to. But it has to be mine, no one else's.
You still miss him, do you?
If you're talking about Kevin Conroy, yes.
Who was this Kevin Conroy? He was vengeance. He was the Knight. He was Batman. Whoa! As in the animated series Batman?
And I had the honor of meeting him back at San Diego Comic-Con. I know I'm supposed to do this review in February, but I got anxious and wanted to do this right away. So here it is, folks. My review of Batman Gotham Knight. Set between the events of Batman Begins and The Dark Knight are 6 shorts that expand the tale of the Nolanverse and tie them all together. They consist of the following: Have I Got a Story for You, Crossfire, Field Test, In Darkness Dwells, Working Through Pain, and Deadshot.
Can anyone here speak for the Holy Man?
What makes this work is the fact that not only do they tie into the overall narrative, they also have their own unique art style that differ from each other. They are well designed in its own way, not just based on the design of the characters, but also the flow of the movements. The short Working Through Pain does a great job in its animation, especially in the climax of the special involving the fight between Bruce Wayne and some thugs. I mean, just take a look at it. Pretty impressive, isn't it?
Then come and get me, you son of a bitch.
But compared to the likes of earlier Batman projects like the legendary animated series, it's a far darker film. In fact, in some ways, it is a bit darker than the very Dark Knight trilogy that this came off of. The short In Darkness Dwells is a very fine example of this, showcasing how disturbing the Scarecrow is in both his potential as a villain and his use of the fear toxin. The funny thing is, I think these sets of shorts did set the tone for future Batman animated flicks.
Does that hurt, Cassandra?
It feels like being caught in the rain.
While these 6 shorts are Japanese anime at its heart, it still carries the very same tone that made Batman great, especially with the voice of Kevin Conroy voicing the Dark Knight. He brought along his very same toolset from the animated series and fleshed out this take on Bruce Wayne, even despite the fact that this one is more of a Bishonen Batman. The best performance from Kevin came from Field Test, which brought back memories of his role on Batman the Animated Series, showcasing both sides of Bruce Wayne. Regardless of his looks, it was the performance that made Batman and Bruce Wayne who he is.
So predictable. I knew I'd flush you out if I went after the lieutenant.
While there were only a handful of familiar villains in this movie, from Killer Croc and Sal Maroni to familiar-faced Scarecrow, there was one that did stand out: Deadshot. I never heard this character until I watched this movie long ago, and while he didn't have as much of a fleshed out story, he did leave a lasting impression on me with his skills as an assassin and his motives to go after his targets. There's a part of me that wished Deadshot had some more screen time, because he was an overall fun villain, if not alright horrifying. I mean, this guy really likes to play God.
Yo, wait a minute. Batman never cut nobody's head off. Everybody knows he don't ever kill nobody.
I'm making it more colorful, yo.
For anyone who's a fan of Batman the Animated Series or the Dark Knight trilogy, I recommend giving Batman Gotham Knight a try. It's a celebration of both legacies fused into 6 tales, each tied together into an overarching story that defines the legacy of the Caped Crusader. And this won't be the last Batman film I'll review. Stay tuned for more in the future.
Wow. Considering all he did as Batman, it really does hit you that he's gone, doesn't it?
It does. In my mind, Kevin Conroy will forever be the Batman. His performance alone is what made him great.
And after everything he's done, he ensured that Batman's legacy will never die.
Do you have a favorite moment of any of Kevin Conroy's past performances? Or maybe you have a story of meeting him in person? Feel free to reply in the comments below.